One of the biggest things I just realized is ego really did get the best of me. And what I mean by that is I I don't know. I really thought I was you know, on this streak, my business is growing, all this stuff. And I was looking back at some of my old conversations I had with some people I used to talk to a lot. And it's like as if I was preaching certain things, but as I reflected back, I wasn't necessarily doing them. And this is a tough video for me to make because I failed. I lost a couple of clients, and they were the ones that were paying me the most money. So I'm down to two clients right now, and I'm making $1,000 a month or less. And it really just dawned on me how I really thought I was, like this big force, my service is amazing, people love it. And of course, the reasons that they like stopped working with me aren't because my service was bad. It's because they found different ways to do it on their own. And like I guess my service was bad in the way that I hadn't figured it all out. I had to kind of adjust, and like there was a lot of processes involved, that kind of stuff. And I mean, I completely understand what they were doing. We still keep in touch, and like I'm even still working closely with one of them because I want to see them grow. I want to help them. And like they said they recommended me to like 20 people already, but I don't really expect a referral really. I don't really expect that to go anywhere. But I mean, I just thinking about it now, like I've just been sitting here just kind of watching the money come in, even though it's not a lot. It's really not. Even when I was making 1,800 a month. And I was just thinking, yes, this is never going to change. This is always going to be like this, and slowly over time it'll get to 10K a month, whatever. And I mean, that's just not true. Like I fell into the trap of getting comfortable. And now that I'm basically back to square one, I've been neglecting cold calling. And I mean, a few days ago I got sick and my voice is really weird, and it just was miserable. So I couldn't really cold call and make it like do anything. Like I tried cold calling, but it just like my voice was cracking up all the time and it just didn't sound good. And I mean, today I have a call in a couple of hours with my coach about cold calling. So I now realize that cold calling is the thing that can make or break this, that I have no choice but to go all in with this and really just force it to work, because you never fully value what you have until you lose it. And I lost a lot. And I'm not necessarily, sad or disappointed. I mean, I am disappointed, but I'm more just coming to a realization of I kind of just let my ego take over and laid back, just letting things happen, just expecting it to work out. And I mean, it never does. And you shouldn't relax. You shouldn't just kick back and expect everything to grow. And now I understand that the only way my business can grow is if I put the effort in. And I think in the background, I always knew that was the case, but you never really know it until it finally clicks, until you have to take action, you have to actually achieve a certain thing. And I mean, it's just really disappointing. It's really, like, I worked a lot for this, and I really built up, like I lost my first client because he found, like, one of his, I guess there were a lot of complexities which we couldn't solve, such as like his company like footage wouldn't be, like, he had to download it then upload it to our drive. Then there's just this whole process, which that wasn't my fault, that wasn't his fault. The company wouldn't let me have access to the main source of the files, all of that stuff. That was just one of the things. it just made more sense for him to have one of his colleagues who's actually already really good at that, at content, take over and do that. And the foundational strategies that I implemented for him, they are currently using to scale on their own, basically. But I built out the foundation of what they're doing now and just taught him so much about the strategy, all of that stuff. And we still keep in touch. We still talk. And like he said, he would send over some referrals to me, but again, I don't really expect that to actually go anywhere. But I mean, I've learned a lot from having these clients, from losing them, from, just working with them. And cold calling is like my only outreach method right now. And when I don't cold call, it directly hurts me as a business owner. Although I wouldn't even really call myself that. I'm more of a freelancer right now. But yeah, it just has to change. And I kind of wanted to make this video just to not only show the highs, but also the lows of how it's really like. There's always a point where every business person gets very comfortable. They think they can't lose. They think that they're too big to fail. And then it's like an anvil falls on their face. They just can't. It's all so sudden. Like, all of this happened in the span of a month of losing my first client, of him going, hey, man, like, I appreciate everything you've done, and, you did really well, but it makes more sense for us to do it ourselves. And then my newer client, who, I mean, we've actually, like, gotten so much progress done. Like, I've basically helped him start everything. And, like, I mean, like, we're still good friends. And, like, even now, I'm going to continue helping him, even since we're not technically working together, all that. I love explaining it to him. I love teaching social media strategy. And I think that there's nothing wrong with sharing information for free. I think that it only grows you as a person. Not only because you learn how to explain things, and like you can even learn from them, of them saying, hey, I kind of tried that and it didn't work out the same way you're saying. Yeah, and then you can kind of go back and forth, and maybe you'll learn something new. So, I mean, overall, it's a big loss. And I understand that it only happened because I wasn't growing the business as much as I should have. I mean, I just wanted to make this video to show that, to really explain what is going on right now. And basically, the plan now is to dial like there's no tomorrow. Every waking hour, I'm going to be working on cold calling. That is going to become my life until I have a cold calling team. I'm working on getting an editing team, all of that kind of stuff. It's going to take a while to set everything up, everything like that. And I have one of my editors working on that. He's just already incredibly, proficient in that. So that's going to be going on. But at the end of the day, I don't feel sad. I don't really, I'm not going to, just curl up and cry over this. Things like this happen, and sometimes you just have to learn the lesson and move on. Like, at the end of the day, I knew I should have been investing in cold calling. I should have been doing it. I should have been growing my business opposed to working on the back end stuff, which is what I prefer to do, which is what I'm actually really much better at doing. But at the end of the day, if you have no customers, then what's the point? So that's what I wanted to share. And I mean, if you're feeling like you're getting to a point in your business or fitness, whatever you're doing, and you feel like you're kind of plateauing, but at the same time feeling very comfortable, most likely that means something is wrong. That means you're probably avoiding doing something, which you should be doing. But because things are going well on paper, you don't feel like you need to do that as much as you should. And then you get into a situation where I'm at, where the business stops growing, you lose customers, and then everything just kind of starts collapsing in on itself. But I'm going to come back from this This is just a hurdle. Everyone goes through it, and these problems only exist to be solved. They only exist to challenge you, to teach you something new. And I definitely learned something from this. So I hope you guys do too, and I'll keep you updated on my cold calling. I don't know if I should even like make a video about like my cold call recordings, any of that kind of stuff, but I guess maybe I might. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, I hope you all are having a good day, and just whatever you're avoiding doing, figure out if that's something that you need to do. And if it is, do it. Don't hesitate. Don't put it off. And you won't regret it in the future. That's all I'm saying.